Okay, so good morning, students. Everyone, kindly switch on your videos before we start. Yes, everyone, kindly switch on your videos before we start. Yes, the rest, kindly switch on your videos. Okay, so I told you that we will discuss about like these three diseases: malaria, cholera, and rabies. Okay, so on Saturday, but Saturday was a holiday, so today we'll discuss about these three together. Okay, we'll sum up these three and discuss the questions. Okay, so I hope you guys have read about these three topics. Okay, so tell me, out of this three, okay, malaria, cholera, and rabies, out of this three, in which one should we start the treatment before the symptoms appear? Cholera, rabies, or malaria? In which one should we start the treatment before the symptoms appear, or in all of these three? Yes, rabies. Okay. Rest? Yes, everyone, answer. Yes, both of this, okay, both malaria and rabies. In rabies is more common that if you get a bite, okay, if you get a bite, if you have a history of a bite or a scratch by an animal, canine animal, then we go for the treatment even before the symptoms start. And in case of malaria also, if you were traveling to an area where malaria is prevalent, so even before getting the disease, we take the medicines. So that is a measure of prevention that we take. Okay, that is not treatment, but though although we take the medicines, but we take them as a preventive measure. Okay, not as a measure of treatment. But in rabies, whatever treatment we receive, that is in form of treatment only. Malaria, although we take the drugs before traveling to an area where malaria is like prevalent, but those drugs are taken as a form of prevention. Okay, but not as a form of treatment, whereas prevention and treatment both are different, although the same drugs are used, but we take them as a means of prevention, not as a means of treatment. But before symptoms appear, we can go for the treatment in case of rabies. Clear, everyone? Is it clear? Okay. Now tell me, trophozoites are found in which stage of the life cycle of the malarial parasite? Hepatic stage, erythrocytic phase, gametogeny, or in the sexual phase? Trophozoites. Okay, rest. I got only 2 3 answers. Rest. There are more people here. Please answer. Yes, the answer is erythrocytic phase. Okay. Then tell me, prodromal symptoms are seen in which disease? Out of these three, I'm talking about these three diseases. So prodromal symptoms are seen in which one? Malaria, rabies, or cholera? I mean the early signs and symptoms. Yes. Good. It is seen in case of rabies. Okay. Prodromal symptoms. Then stage of collapse is seen in which disease? Malaria, cholera, rabies? In which one? Stage of collapse. Okay, good. Then rehydration therapy, both oral and intravenous. Okay, so rehydration therapy is like an important part of the treatment in which disease out of this three? Okay, rehydration therapy, oral and intravenous, is an important part of the treatment in which disease? I mean, out of this three, in which one is rehydration therapy important? Anyone else wants to add up something? Okay, good. In cholera we required a rehydration therapy, but apart from cholera, in rabies also rehydration is an important part. So I have told about that. Now can anyone tell me why? In cholera we know that the person is suffering from diarrhea, so there will be dehydration. So rehydration is an important part in the treatment. But in case of rabies also, proper hydration is a part of the treatment, and that is also an important part. Now tell me why, anyone? Yes, anyone give me the reason about this rabies? Why do we need the rehydration therapy or proper rehydration in rabies as well? Oxygen support because of hydrophobia. Yes, that is the correct answer. Okay, because of hydrophobia. I think Sanjana has answered it. Okay, so because the person will be suffering from hydrophobia, so the even the thought of drinking water will cause intense spasm in the throat of the person. As a result, the person will start developing hydrophobia. He will stay away from water. Okay, so proper hydration that has to be ensured in case of rabies as well. Okay, so in both cholera and rabies we need this hydration therapy. Okay, clear everyone? Is it clear everyone? Why is hydration important in both these two diseases? Okay. Um, Now tell me, why do we need to protect the small pets in case of rabies? Like to for as a preventive measure, okay? As a preventive measure, why do we need to protect our small pets? Yes, correct. To prevent contact with the wild predators. Okay, because you never know, the small pets will not have rabies if you consider that the pet is not infected, but if you do not protect them and they come in contact with the stray dogs or the stray animals and the wild predators, so they might also get affected. Hallucinations and nightmares, so these are common in which disease? Hallucinations and nightmare are common in which disease? Yes, good. In case of rabies. Microscopic study of the vomitus and the stool sample is important as a diagnostic factor in which disease? Microscopic study of the vomitus and the stool sample is an important diagnostic factor in which disease? No, not malaria. Think about it, everyone. Not malaria. Now you're left with two more options. So think about it. Okay, the answer is cholera. Okay, I got two answers. Okay, so you all are correct. It's cholera. Because in cholera, the major sign and symptom will be that the person will be passing stool and also might be associated with vomiting. So microscopic study of the stool sample and the vomitus are important part of examination here. Okay, in case of your cholera. What is chemotaxis? Chemotaxis? Yes, tell me, what is chemotexis? Process by which microgametes are attracted towards the macrogamete. Yes. Rest? Yes, I got one answer. There are more people here. Please answer. Yes. So chemotexis is a process by which the male gametes and the female gametes, they are attracted towards each other. Okay, and then it results in the fertilization. Okay. Now microgametes are male gametes or female gametes? Microgametes are male gametes or female gametes? Yes, good. They are male gametes. So, out of these three diseases, in which one, like the severe cases are very less, and you will see only mild signs and symptoms out of these three? I mean, cholera, malaria, and rabies. Yes, the rest. Let me tell you, it's not malaria, so you are left with two more options. So think about it. Where the severe cases are very less and mild cases are more, and recovery rate is also good. Yes, the answer is cholera. Okay, where severe cases occur only in 5 to 10% cases, okay, and more number of mild cases are there, and usually recovery occurs within 1 to 3 days, okay. Now tell me, out of these 3 diseases, which one has the longest incubation period? Like, in which one signs and symptoms can be seen even years after the incubation period? Rabies. Yes, good. So it's rabies. So I hope these 3 topics are clear for you all. So is there any more topic that you want me to repeat or discuss, revise, anything that is left? Tell me now. HIV. Okay. Any more topic? Poliomyelitis. Okay. Okay, natural. Okay, I think you mean natural, right? Natural history of disease and common terminology. Okay. Any more topics? Anyone? Okay. TB. Okay. Does it belong to communicable diseases? Which one? Which disease are you talking about? Natural history of disease. No, natural history of disease and this common terminologies, all this comes under your first unit, okay, that is health and disease, concepts of health and disease. So within that only this thing, natural history of disease, have been included, okay. Apart from that, the diseases that I have taught, so all these diseases, they come under the communicable disease part, okay. Okay, so I got some topics: HIV, polio, TB, natural history of disease, and common terminology. Okay, polio, I think I have revised once, okay, but still, if you have got doubts, I'll repeat that again. So after this, after the revision ends, okay, some people have already given their presentations. So I want everyone to give presentation of one topic a day, okay, because this is important for your internal marks, okay. For internal assessment, this presentations and everything, these are also an important part. So I want you all to do that. I think some few people have given, I think only 3 people I remember them: Dristilina, Sanjana, and Jugal. These 3 have given. And Gina, you said that you will be giving, but I think you had some problem that day, you could not attend the class. But apart from these 3, the rest will have to present, okay, because this is an important part for your presentation, sorry, internal marks. And if one person presents a topic in a particular day, suppose one person will be presenting on polio, suppose, okay, so the rest will also have to study that part, okay, because I might ask question to anyone. So since I have done all the parts, I have revised again, and the topics that are left you have doubts on, so I'll repeat those as well. Apart from that, once this revision part ends, you people will have to present, okay. Okay for all? Okay. And last time I gave choices, like if anyone wants to voluntarily do it, and these people came up. This time I'll assign you people, okay, who needs to present on which topic. Okay, there will be a sign before, and I'll give the dates. So you people have to be present on that day, okay? Whoever's assignment or presentation is on that day, okay. So we'll wind up the class now. Tomorrow, what do you want me to discuss? TB? Okay, we'll finish with the communicable diseases first. So we'll discuss about TB tomorrow, okay. So read about that topic, TB, and we'll also discuss it tomorrow. CR, you can send me the attendance. We'll end the class now.